Oh boy, here I go defending Donald Trump again. That's how it feels, isn't it? When Donald Trump ran the first time, I just laughed. I wasn't his biggest fan. That's not really where I was. And then as time went on and the media lied and they lied and they lied and the Democrats lied, I was just getting more and more fed up. Finally comes 2020 and Donald Trump puts out his second term agenda, which I actually kind of liked. I said, there's a lot of really good things in here and I like ending these wars. Last night, Donald Trump made that statement. He announced he's running for the presidency 2024. He said, no new wars, war is bad, brought about peace in many areas, far from perfect. The economy was doing really great. Unemployment was down. He wants to bring back the family, make America great again, all that good stuff. I like it. Let's see what he has to offer. I'm interested. But the Democrats are already moving forward on the 14th Amendment's insurrection clause because they're insane people. And here I go defending Donald Trump again. If you don't like his attitude, fine, say it. I got no argument. If you don't like his policies, fine, say it. I got no argument. Now, I can say this. You come out and say you don't like his attitude. Well, typically I'd agree on a lot of those issues, but some people do like it. I get it. I get it. It's an opinion. You come out and you say, I think his policy on critical race theory is wrong. I'll say, well, I disagree with you. I think you're wrong. But I'm not going to argue against your right to believe those things and vote against him because you don't believe in it. But when you come out and claim Donald Trump waged insurrection, you are lying. At the very least. If that were the case, then Joe Biden himself waged insurrection against this country with the things he said supporting Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and when his staff and even his vice president donated to bail out insurrectionists. Yeah, we didn't forget 5/29. When thousands of far-left extremists tore down the barricades in front of the White House, set fire to St. John's Church, set fire to a guard post, forcing the president into an emergency bunker, but they laughed about it. So already, the legal challenges are beginning. Several organizations have already expressed their intent. This is actually a week ago, that they will file lawsuits challenging Donald Trump's eligibility under the 14th Amendment. But my friends, my good Democrat friends, you cannot simply assert an opinion on what you think insurrection means and then try to disqualify a presidential candidate because of it. Because I'll tell you this. How about I say every single person who wants Donald Trump to be president start filing lawsuits against Joe Biden and the Democrats for waging insurrection on 5/29? You can say anything you want in a lawsuit. So just do that. File a lawsuit against the Democrats and Joe Biden, challenging their eligibility, the same as the Democrats are doing to Republicans. File those lawsuits and assert definitively Joe Biden waged insurrection against this country. Kamala Harris waged insurrection against this country. Joe Biden's staff members, his campaign, they were bailing out terrorists. Insurrectionists. Kamala Harris directly called for them to do it. No, come on, that's absurd, right? You can actually file the lawsuits if you're so inclined. But this is the argument being made as to why Donald Trump should not be president. Okay. In the meantime, violence is exploding in many cities, and the Republicans are making the stupid move to reelect Mitch McConnell as the Senate leader of the Senate, as the party leader. Okay. Look, I did not expect much from the Republicans, but there are many people, I believe 31 House Republicans are saying they will not support Kevin McCarthy. Good for them. Use that leverage. Push back enough. You want to know something funny? These people elect Mitch McConnell as party leader again, and I got the civics polling, and I went through every single demographic, and not a single one likes Mitch McConnell. So, the Republican Party, I can tell you outright, garbage. Some good people. The Democrats, just lying. The media, just lying. Please, have your political opinions. I don't mind. But the reality here is, it's all a bunch of establishment garbage. Donald Trump did not drag down the Republicans in the midterms. Universal mail-in voting resulted in Democrats pushing back fairly hard. But when you look at voter turnout, say, how about Florida? What are we hearing from Democrats? Well, we just couldn't get people to turn out in Florida. That's so weird. Why not? Why everywhere but Florida? Ballot harvesting. Okay. Let's read the news, my friends. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com. Become a member to support our work. As a member, you get access to our uncensored show. Click that Join Us button, and you'll be supporting our journalists. You may have seen the viral video that we had recently with one of our reporters, Elad Eliyahu, on the ground in New York. Fox News picked up the story. It was TERF versus trans protests. Interesting video, to say the least, but we want to make sure that we're expanding our cultural operations, our news gathering operations, and to a certain degree, our political givings as well. As a member, you'll get access to our uncensored members only show, so check those out. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share this video right now wherever you can on social media. Put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it on Instagram, whatever you can. It really, really does help. Share the link so that people can find the show. Here's the story from timcast.com. House Democrats maneuver to stop Trump's 2024 presidential bid. Seriously, it's not even been 24 hours. House Rep cites 14th Amendment's insurrection clause as basis to deny return to high office. Do you think that these Democrats are stupid, or do you think they're just evil? I think they're probably just evil. Like, they know they set this whole thing up over the past couple of years, the past year or so, year and a half. Insurrection, to say the big lie. This is their big lie. The Democrats' big lie. Repeat it after me. The Democrats' big lie that Donald Trump staged an insurrection. And they're doing it so that they can try and file legal challenges which have no merit. The announcement came from former President Donald Trump that he was seeking another term in office in the 2024 election. House Democrats circulated a letter to drum up support to try and stop him. The memo from Rep. David Cicilline states that he has drafted legislation that would prevent Trump from holding public office again under the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Cicilline argues that testimony provided to the January 6th committee has demonstrated that Trump engaged in insurrection and says the text of the Constitution bars insurrectionists from holding high office in the U.S. Maxine Waters called on people to get in the face of politicians, and then we saw a whole bunch of violence. Okay, she's disqualified too, because I say it's insurrection. Okay, spare me, dude. Quote, the legislation details testimony and evidence demonstrating how Donald Trump engaged in insurrection against the United States, Cicilline writes in his letter, excerpts of which were published on Twitter by Politico reporter Nicholas Wu. His letter states, it specifically details how Donald Trump engaged in insurrection when he helped to plan and encourage the insurgents on January 6, despite knowing that the election results were lawful, attempted to intimidate state and federal officials when they did not support his false claim, and unlawful plans, tried to manipulate Mike Pence into unlawfully refusing to certify the election results. I'll pause right there. If that were true, that it were unlawful, they wouldn't be seeking to codify legislation that prevents the vice president from doing so, now would they? Despite Mr. Pence's and legal advisors' assertion that he held no such authority and supported the violent insurrection at the Capitol on January 6, refusing for hours to denounce or act against the mob and putting thousands of lives in danger. Refusing for hours. So when Trump comes out and says outright, hey, don't do this, stop, they're like, well, you should have said it faster. That means you insurrected. Huh? Come on. Congressional officials are not the only ones using the insurrection narrative as a means to try to prevent Trump from returning to the White House. We have the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington crew. Yeah, here we go. From Hannah Demasi of ABC News, Trump's 2024 bid hit with immediate challenge from group behind disqualification clause lawsuits, which failed, by the way. They say, as Donald Trump announced Tuesday, he is running again for the White House. Two groups are already working behind the scenes to mount a national push to get election officials to stop him from being on the ballot because of January 6, even as similar efforts have failed against other Republicans. Free Speech for People and Mi Familia Vota are launching a campaign via trumpisdisqualified.org to urge secretaries of state and other chief elections officials to bar the former president from running for office under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, known as the Disqualification Clause. Enacted after the Civil War, The clause blocks any person from holding federal office who has taken an oath to protect the Constitution, including a member of Congress, but who has engaged in insurrection against the U.S. or given aid and comfort to its enemies. Now, the funny thing here is I'm pretty sure this was intended to work against the Confederates after the Civil War ended. But then ultimately there was an amnesty provision or something where they basically said, okay, you can have office. And that was because the election, it was 1876. I always get the date wrong. The country was on the verge of another civil war. So, basically they said, okay. Let's come to a compromise and figure out how we're going to get through this. They're going to say free speech for the people previously filed challenges against other elected Republican reps like Madison Cawthorn and Marjorie Taylor Greene, arguing their actions around January 6th and support for overturning the 2020 election results amounted to the disqualifying behavior. Neither Cawthorn nor Greene participated in the rioting, though Cawthorn spoke at a Trump rally beforehand. Greene has said she was a victim along with other lawmakers. I mean, she was in the building. Free Speech for People said it intends to file similar legal challenges against Trump, but declined to provide more details to ABC News. Trump has insisted he did nothing wrong related to January 6th. A spokesman did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the story. Quote, I can say that Donald Trump is going to face legal challenges for his eligibility, but he will also face scrutiny from secretaries of state and chief election officials, regardless of whether there will be a legal challenge, said John Bonifaz, co-founder and president for Free Speech for People. So it's not required that there be a legal challenge for the Secretary of State to hold up his or her responsibility and bar Donald Trump from the ballot. I will just say it right now. I bet they will. California, New York, Illinois, Washington, probably Oregon. They are absolutely going, in my opinion, to try to keep Trump's name off the ballot. When it comes to primaries in these states, I'm willing to bet Republicans do the exact same thing. They will not let Donald Trump win. That doesn't mean he will lose. It means they're going to do everything in their power to stop Donald Trump. Oh, and here we go. Raw story. Impeachment lawyer explains how to use the Constitution to bar Trump from the presidency. Article 3 of the 14th Amendment says that any public office holder who takes the oath of office and then engages in rebellion or insurrection against the U.S. is barred from ever serving in public office again. Try as they might, it is nonsense. Oh, here we go. Here's the Citizens for Ethics. They announced this before Trump even announced it. On Twitter, they say, rest assured, if Donald Trump announces he's running for the presidency, we'll file a challenge under the 14th Amendment, which bars people who engaged blah, blah, blah. You get it. What a waste of our time. Oh boy, here I go defending Donald Trump again. It's meritless. Here, Huffington Post writes it up. When Trump announces candidacy, Watchdog will file insurrection disqualification challenge. Spare me, dude. Your ridiculous lies and manipulations do not sway me. I don't care about your opinions. I really don't. I care about my opinions. I care about what I see and what I think. So when you come out and you're like, Donald Trump was low energy, and even former Trump supporters, friends, family, whatever, have said that they're not going to be working with him. Some have called him low energy. I see a lot of conservatives. I don't care at all. And I'm sure other Trump supporters don't care at all either. Now, for me, I don't consider myself a staunch Trump supporter. I just consider most people to be Trump derangement syndrome. Sorry, I don't have that. You want to make an argument about Trump's behavior? Let's hear it. Trump said he wanted to execute drug dealers. Bad idea. I don't like the death penalty. The rebuttal was, he means like cartel members who are on average killing like 500 people. I still don't agree with the death penalty. I do, however, understand that in active conflict, people can lose their lives. You have a right to defend yourself. That I get. If Donald Trump wants to clarify that he's not talking about American citizens who are selling drugs illegally, and he's talking about foreign actors who are bringing fentanyl, okay, still don't like it, but it is a far cry from like arresting a pot dealer and killing him. Okay, I get that. Low energy? Donald Trump's speech, in my opinion, was not low energy. I don't care what their opinions are. Will Chamberlain, he's a friend. He said low energy. Disagree, Will. His opinion won't sway me. I thought Donald Trump did everything right. He did exactly what I was asking for. He was reserved. He made his case, talked about his successes, talked about what he wants to get done, what the Democrats aren't getting done. He didn't whine and cry about 2020. He said he wanted to strengthen the American family. And I said, okay, I dig it. He did not come out and start bloviating and ranting. I don't like it. So I think he did well. Now, will the average person be susceptible to the manipulations or the peer pressure? Probably. Let's see what Trump can do. It's going to be the hardest fight he's ever fought. Harder than 2016. Harder than 2020. Here we go. Huffington Post. Painful. Conservatives ex-aides trash Trump's low energy 2024 announcement. The National Review, the conservative publication that has repeatedly flip-flopped on Trump, published an editorial with one word, no. The New York Post, they were particularly brutal. Their front page had nothing to do with Trump, but at the bottom it said Florida man makes announcement, page 26. And then on page 26 was a very small strip in the top corner that said, Florida man announces run for president. Donald Trump, who is known for being a reality TV star, says he'll run for president. Trump was also the former president of the United States from 2016 and 2020. And that was supposed to be their big insult or whatever. Dude, try as you might. Make all the jokes in the world. If people want to know about Donald Trump running in 2024, and then you take in the New York Post, put out a publication that ignores that, people are going to say, well, then I'm not going to buy the paper. I'm not going to read the paper. I just want to know what's going on. I don't care about you making stupid jokes. I don't care about you making nonsensical arguments. None of these things matter. There is one thing that matters. Ballot harvesting and universal mail-in voting. You want to win Trump? You want to win Republicans? You better ramp up that now. Otherwise, you lost already. Here's what they show. Stephanie Grisham says, I think even Trump is bored with this speech. Painful to watch. Disagree. Alyssa Farah Griffin says, you try being high energy when you're running for president primarily to try to avoid indictment. Disagree. Sarah Matthews, this is one of the most low energy, uninspiring speeches I've ever heard from Trump. Even the crowd seems bored. I think they're projecting. They're trying really hard. The reason they're saying low energy is because Donald Trump insulted Jeb Bush as low energy, and they're trying to throw it in his face and agitate. They're trying to create a perception that it was low energy. But what happens when people watch the speech from Trump and they're not getting it through the filtered lens of people who don't like him? I was clapping and cheering for a lot of what he was saying. I don't like Donald Trump when he comes out and he was like, only Rosie O'Donnell, he's calling people horse face and things like that. I don't like it. Are they now? This is what I really love. When Donald Trump gives his typical high energy speech, they say he's brash and condescending, arrogant, boastful, bloviating. When Donald Trump comes out calmly and says, under my presidency, record low unemployment in the black community, record low unemployment in the Latino community, they're like, oh, it's so boring and low energy. I don't care about the opinions of these people. George Conway, don't care. Meghan McCain, Meghan, don't care. Hey, no. Don't get me wrong. You're allowed to have the opinions. I just disagree. And it's not going to sway me. I get it. They don't like him. Now, as for Meghan McCain, I understand why she doesn't like Trump. Trump ragged on John McCain. I understand why she doesn't like Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake really ragged on the McCains. I don't think Meghan McCain is that bad. I know a lot of Trump supporters really don't like her. I'm middle of the road. I think she's all right. I disagree with her on a lot of things. My position is this. We're allowed to disagree. I don't like a lot of the opinions of a lot of people, but, I get it. They have the opinions that I disagree with. When John McCain died, I put out I put out like this centrist statement, like, sad to see anybody pass. I know a lot of people don't like him, critical of his war policy. And then there was this meme that showed the political compass where Chad faces were in every quadrant, looking at the people like me saying, what is wrong with you or whatever. They were like gloating over John McCain's death. I won't do that. Sorry. Yeah. Here you go. You got a whole bunch of people here saying, no. Demonstrating that rats do jump on sinking ships. Carrie Lake endorsing Donald Trump. Joe Walsh, he gets included in this, but he has one of the only posts that I respect. He said, laugh at him, dismiss him, mock this speech all you want, write him off at your own peril. I won't. Agreed. Yeah, Joe Walsh doesn't like Trump. I get it. And he's right. Jeb Bush. Oh, come on, Jeb. Couldn't you have at least delivered this properly? You see, Jeb, this is why you couldn't pull it off. He says, wow, exclamation point. What a low energy speech by the Donald. Time for new leaders. Hashtag weak, hashtag sleepy Donnie. You overdid the joke, my friend. What you should have just tweeted was low energy. That's it. And then people would have laughed. But you beat the joke too much. Yeah, I see it a lot with a lot of people in comedy. Over-explaining the joke, failure to deliver. We'll see how it goes. Roadmap to accountability. How the January 6th committee can help enforce the 14th Amendment. November 15th from Just Security. Yeah, here it is. Let me tell you about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and make sure, maybe I should have opened with this, to be completely honest, because we want to make sure people understand what's going on. This is the thing. If you're going to share this video with people who don't believe in the insurrection narrative on the left, then when you click share below this video, you can select this timestamp from NBC Washington. Historic church near White House damaged amid unrest. Leaders pray for healing. St. John's Church, known as the Church of the Presidents, was damaged after peaceful protests near the White House took a destructive turn. You love it! Peaceful protests? They set fire to the church. They were not peaceful protests. 150 law enforcement officers were injured. You gotta love the media, don't you? Look at it. Let me read it again for you. Clip that one. Share that one. St. John's Church was damaged after peaceful protests near the White House took a destructive turn. Yeah. Peaceful protests. Here's one from the Washington Post. Protesters' breach of temporary fences near White House complex prompted Secret Service to move Trump to secure bunker. Let me try this one again for all of you. I'll give you a better headline here. Insurrectionists breach barricade at White House, forcing president into emergency secure bunker. Violent insurrectionists set fire to White House complex and St. John's Church. Now, okay, maybe a bit hyperbolic, but hey, two can play that game. When I say they set fire to the White House complex, well, it was a guard post out front. They were trying to breach the gates. They breached the barricades, and they set fire to the church. So if you want to play those games, I'll play them as well. But let me tell you the truth. Violent extremists breached the barricades of the White House, injuring 150 officers, setting fire to a guard post and St. John's Church. The president was then forced into a bunker. And when Donald Trump, I believe it was actually Barr, cleared out the violent rioters, the media claimed that Trump attacked a peaceful protest for a photo op. These people are insane. If that's the country they want to live in, fine, so be it. But make your argument for it. Yeah, he's trying to clear out peaceful protests for a photo op. Their organizational apparatus is better than yours, Republicans, so get with the program. Oh, I love this one. From Newsweek. Fact check. Did Kamala Harris back bail fund for murderers and rapists? Okay, well, it is true, says Newsweek, but it doesn't need some context. She was mostly referring to the terrorists, not the murderers. Okay, some of those terrorists did murder people, but, the money all goes to the same place. How about this one from Snopes? Did Biden's staffers contribute to a protester bailout fund? Snopes says true. That's right. Joe Biden's staff were contributing to the bail funds of violent extremists. Why? I would argue that this is Joe Biden, his campaign, which includes him, engaging in insurrection against these United States. So that's it. I'm sorry, he's disqualified. How about all of you who can get on board some class action lawsuit? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, you're hereby disqualified. Kamala Harris, at the very least. You know what? Kamala Harris is ineligible to hold office because she engaged in insurrection by fundraising. You want to argue Joe Biden did it? Just fine. Let him find a new VP. Or then you can impeach Joe Biden for the Ukraine dealings, or for depleting the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to try and win the midterms, or for his illicit business dealings abroad. Let's just say abroad, because China's involved in that as well. 10% for the big guy. How about that? Then when he's out, who's next? The Speaker of the House. Ugh, I guess it's Kevin McCarthy coming up next, but sure, why not? There you go. Next in line. Yeah. There is some light at the end of this tunnel, so I'll make sure to bring this up. From the Daily Mail, Facebook says it won't fact-check Trump now that he is running for president again, citing Meta's policy to exempt active politicians from third-party fact-checking. Meta, Facebook, fired 11,000 people. Twitter's starting to collapse. Elon Musk is bringing free speech back to the free speech wing of the free speech party. That's what Twitter used to say. So we'll see. Will Donald Trump be reinstated? I asked good old Mr. Musk on Twitter, but, I can't expect the guy with 120 million followers to answer every tweet. But, I did my due diligence. Elon Musk did not return a request for comment on whether or not Donald Trump will be reinstated. Didn't expect him to, but figured I'd ask anyway. Milo Yiannopoulos, maybe. If Elon Musk reinstates these high-profile personalities that know how to advocate for Trump, Trump wins. Milo Yiannopoulos came on Timcast IRL, and he said that when Trump gets his mojo back, there's no way Ron DeSantis can go up against him. I'll admit, in 2020, I don't think Trump was all that strong against Joe Biden. The presidency is a tiring job, and so his energy was down. Let's see what Trump can pull off. I don't care if it's Trump. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. You got all these people on the right saying, no, Donald Trump. You got all these people on the left saying, like, we will never allow Donald Trump. And I'm like, whatever. There's going to be a primary. If there is no one better than Trump, then there's no one better than Trump. But you know what I got to say? I think we've all learned an important lesson right now. And this is a message to all of you. Take stock of what Scott Presler does. The most important get out the vote program we've seen in a long time. If not for the likes of Scott and many others, Republicans would not have the House right now. The ballot harvesting machine combined with universal mail-in voting means Democrats have a clear path to victory, and it has nothing to do with the issues. So by all means, run Donald Trump, run whoever you want. I don't think it matters at all. They're going to say Donald Trump's a drag on the party. He's not. They're going to say don't pick Donald Trump, pick DeSantis. I don't care. I literally don't. All that matters is that if the Republicans can build up a massive ballot harvesting operation, apparently people are saying in the OC in California, the Republicans won back the district as soon as they got ballot harvesting. Donald Trump got 74 million votes in 2020. Joe Biden got 80. And people are like, you really think Joe Biden got 80 million votes? I am not, nor have I ever stated that people were all getting up and running out the door full speed being like, we got to go get Biden. Woo. I have stated explicitly that enthusiasm against Trump was very, very high and rivaled enthusiasm for Trump. That's what Trump does. So what do you get? Universal mail-in voting and ballot harvesting. I talked about the video over and over again of this guy I know holding his mail-in ballot and dropping it in the mailbox. That dude would not have voted. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think a lot of people hated Trump. But I don't think it's Joe Biden that earned the votes. I think people voted against Donald Trump. But you eliminate mail-in voting from the equation, Trump would have won handily. That was the mistake I made. I missed that. Sort of. And I got to be fair. Not even that much. We long talked about how universal mail-in voting was going to massively advantage Democrats. I've explained over and over again exactly how it does. I just didn't realize by how much. Well, now we know. The polls are not wrong. The American people who pay attention and want a better life are voting for it. But the Democrats are securing votes from people who don't care. That's the game. And if you don't want to play it, you will lose. Now, here's my suggestion. Instead of going out there and being like, this is wrong and this is bad, do the exact same thing Democrats are doing, Republicans, and start now. And then, when you win, you can do exactly what Ron DeSantis did. Clean up the system. No more of this early voting garbage. We get election day. And that means everyone has to wait in line all the same. Not easy, I know. My proposal, no universal mail-in voting. no early voting. You vote the day of, but Election Day must be a national holiday. Now, I've heard Republicans say, yeah, but that's bad for us. I don't care if it's bad for you. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for the integrity of the country. I don't think I'm doing all that much other than talking to a camera. But my point is, I'm not advocating for these policies because I want Republicans to win. I'm advocating for these policies because I want the politicians who actually care about this country to win. And it's certainly not Democrats who try to get 16-year-olds to vote. Certainly not the neocon Republican Party shills who would go and support Mitch McConnell. It's all gross, don't get me wrong. Let me show you this. Mitch McConnell. Oh, yeah, he wins. Bravo, Republicans. Great. Here's civics. This is fantastic. Do you have a favorable or unfavorable opinion of Mitch McConnell? 81% unfavorable. You can see right here, total 81%. Oh, it's amazing. Okay, let's try 18 to 34. 18 to 34-year-olds say 87% unfavorable. Okay, well, certainly Mitch McConnell's approval rating will increase as people get older, right? 35 to 49, 82% unfavorable. Okay, well, that's a little better. 50 to 64, 80% unfavorable. Okay, so it is. And 65 plus, 76% unfavorable. Okay, but look at the favorability. The favorability slightly goes up, just teeny bits. But let's just call it marginal. Every age group despises Mitch McConnell. Come on. Okay, but how about graduates? We know graduates don't like Mitch McConnell. 80% unfavorable. Postgraduates, college graduates, 80% unfavorable. Okay, then the working class, they like Mitch McConnell, right? 82% unfavorable? What? How do college graduates like Mitch McConnell more? I'll just break it down for you. The only demographic that actually shows an improvement is the Republican Party, with 61% unfavorable. No one in any demographic likes this guy. Why vote for him? You know what? Because it doesn't matter. Candidate quality doesn't matter. They're like, Trump dragged the GOP. Oh, be quiet. Fetterman won. Well, but people don't like Donald. No, it's mail-in voting and ballot harvesting. Spare me. You could run a ham sandwich and win with ballot harvesting. So be it. That's the game we play. So, I hope you're ready. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited for next year. So I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 8 p.m. tonight over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.